Hi, my name is Scott Miller. I'm the owner of Miller Restoration. We're a property damage restoration company. So what we do is we come in after somebody's had either a residential or commercial water damage, fire damage, mold remediation, or some type of biohazard cleanup need. We do all the initial cleaning, and then we put them back to the way they were before the damage happened. So we do all the reconstruction work as well. And we've been doing that since September of 2005. I decided to bring a business coach on very early in my business because it was the first time that I was a business owner, and I realized that being accountable to somebody was always something that helped me a lot. So I always had a manager in all my jobs, and I thought that having a business coach would help me just accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. There were things that I knew that I had to do, and I also knew that if I had a business coach, they would bring more to the table that I didn't necessarily know would be helpful for my business. That's why I brought on a business coach. As we all know, there's a lot of choices for business coaches. I decided to bring on Paul Curry because I already knew him. I had run a business for an absentee owner in a franchise organization, and Paul was a regional manager. Always had a great relationship with him, always found him to be very helpful when helping me to plan goals for the business and to look at financials and understand them, and just thought it would be a great way to get back to having a business relationship with him. As a new business owner, the main challenges I had in the beginning were very similar to the challenges I have 8 years from now, and they're just a little bit different. So to give you an example, it was the first time that I had to pay attention to financials that were my own. I always looked at financials from a different perspective when it was somebody else's business. So now I really needed to completely understand profit and loss statements from the accrual and the cash standpoint, and Paul was a great person to help me through that. Another reason for hiring Paul was, again, for the first time as a business owner, there's something different about having employees report to you that are your employees as opposed to working in a business that belongs to somebody else and having those employees report to you. It was a much different experience for me. So Paul is able to give me some tools and give me some encouragement and continues to do so to help me be an effective manager. Another reason I've always enjoyed working with Paul Curry is the systems that he's helped me develop. A lot of the systems that he can bring into a person's business are systems that can be used in a wide variety of businesses. So, for example, recruiting systems, sales management systems, systems for meeting, systems to help with time management. All these things help me take away what I had to do. So, for example, when I was finding that I was doing more than I wanted to do myself, and had things that I could, if I had a system, could delegate to others, that was huge. What a huge discovery that was for me, that if we had a simple system that we documented, then I could pass it on to somebody else, and then I could just manage the process as opposed to actually being the one responsible for doing the task. The only real concern I had when I was trying to decide whether or not to go with Paul, because I did have other choices for people that were closer physically to my office that I could meet with face-to-face for our coaching meetings. So the only real concern I had was the physical distance, and it's turned out to be a non-issue. For nearly 8 years we've had weekly phone calls, and I find that on the rare occasion that we do a face-to-face coaching meeting, it's actually less effective, and I find that it's because of me. I'm better at focusing on the task at hand if I'm on the phone with Paul and we're sharing files on our computer, so we can look at P&Ls together remotely, and I just find that it's a more productive use of our time if we're on the phone. So over the years, the business has really changed quite a bit since we first started. When we first started coaching, it was me on the truck. And today, about 8 years later, it is we've got about 20 employees, and actually a second business that we're running out of the same location. So my business has changed significantly over the past 8 years, and I can definitely attribute a lot of that success to me working with Paul. So it's been a great experience. Some of the things I've gained by having a coach, especially Paul Curry, is self-confidence. Again, never having run my own business, here I am 8 years later with two, and much more confident because of the tools that he's helped me develop. The other thing that I've gained is really the implementation of systems. It's something that no one else had ever taught me before. So the implementation of systems has just allowed me to scale and really duplicate myself. You can only do so much alone. So by having systems and having tools to help develop people has really helped both of my businesses grow significantly.